Right. So we will go back to we'll go to a break while I try and fix out this GPU issue. Um, Hopefully it'll be fixed. Otherwise, we will all burn in the heat death of the universe. So we'll be right back when the next games come out. See you then. But for now, bye bye. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the UKEL May Monthly Cup. And now we are joined by a familiar face, and that is of Team Spawn Peak's newest mid laner, Yoon. Hello.
Yo, I'm back. I am back on the casting desk because we have no games left ourselves. So time to get a sneak peek at how -1 are getting on.
He's raiding us. Well, I mean,
well, I could watch the stream anyway.
yeah, exactly.
Looks like draft has started. Draft has started.
Is going down. I keep forgetting that I need to do this thing.
Honestly, a bit of a strange draft so far. It seems that we're banning Orion on blue side? Question mark. I'm not anticipating it to be banned on red side. I'm guessing Silas first ban on red. Rise ban on this side.
It looks like the Mosquitoes are a little bit less confident into Teddy, as they're committing everything to these mid lane bans. Is there a chance that they ban Azir third and they just go? Are we just banning mid laners? Are we just banning mid laners here?
I think we're in a meta where mid is quite blindable, generally speaking. So I'm not too surprised.
What is it? Azir, Talia, the last two bans. Then what, you're left with like Victor, Twisted Fate, Vigar, Lissandra, Anivia, I guess.
A lot of those are usually traditionally seen as counter picks, really. So I'm not sure, but I think they'll end up swapping to a sort of first pick jungle or a first pick ADC, or potentially a first pick Rumble if we're gaming.
Final band coming through here. -1 are on the right side of your screen. They will be on red side. Now, they have been on blue side every game that they have won. And that first game against Broad, where they did get a little bit smoked, they were on this red side. So potentially this is their bad omen. But we'll have to wait and see. Broad have gone invincible so far in this tournament and are very much tipped to place in first. Who would have seen it? The best team in the tournament is placing first.
It seems Absolved are also joint first at the moment. I know, because they just beat our little ragtag team that we threw together, of course, not playing alongside my Spawn Peak teammates.
Yeah, who recently
had a lot of fun.
Recently dropped the roster reveal, as we do see Karma get first pick.
How terrifying a roster to drop. We look scary.
My one complaint is that when they said your name, they said it as yawn.
Yeah, the accent on the voice actor is quite interesting, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Karma first pick, pretty
Karma
standard.
First
Nautilus secured straight into it. Wow.
Nautilus Rumble. We did see the Rumble blind again come through on that first game that -1 lost, and I'm sort of seeing a few too many similarities. So let's see.
It's nice to see Cody get something that is proactive. I think he's a very capable player, and I know he doesn't like to sit around. So glad to see him on a bit of engage.
He was on the Leona for that first game, so definitely a much more comfortable pick here. As Sion does get locked in for the top lane, most likely, of the Mosquitoes. They'll be looking to try and pick off their targets one by one without getting slapped out of the air. Ezreal, the first time we're seeing this champion not get banned. Will it be picked up by here? And that it does. Syndra insta-hover. Oh, I'm not a massive fan of the Jhin, if I can be honest.
Jhin struggles to kill the Sion. I think it's fine for the lane, but I don't really like it into the Sion at all.
I'm very much a Jhin hater, I must admit.
I really do quite like the champ, but I think that when a really high HP or high resist champ is chosen, you kind of need a champion that can leave through that. Well, sending it to Draven Nautilus.
Right, okay, so -1 definitely playing the aggressive lane. Now they have had success. They have had
Zoe picked off last. That is 5 mid bans. Although I don't know if Teddy plays Zoe, but I'm assuming it's not going anywhere else.
Yeah, now it's actually Nautilus jungle and the Zoe was being sent support. And
Let's see. Cody strikes the sort of person that plays Zoe.
yeah, although I feel like a twisted fate might come through here. We are going to see Vi come out, so that is going to be a little bit of lockdown. But it is going to be potentially very difficult to get onto this Ezreal, or potentially the mid laner for the Mosquitoes. So that's where this Vi will be going. Mimic has had good success on it in these past couple of games. But we will have to wait and see what happens.
I'd really like to see a mage that can control the space when they're getting engaged into like this. Oh, we're rotating the Karma to...
Karma's going mid.
Here. Yeah. I'm not really a fan of this, to be honest. I know the Braum functions quite well into the Nautilus Draven and can protect the Ezreal, but I'm not really a fan of what it means for the composition. You're going to be lacking quite a lot of damage and quite a lot of peel ability here. Pantheon too, kind of the same vein. I'm not really a fan of what they're going with here.
This is an
Karma does enough damage to really do anything for the side of Pink Mosquitoes.
Well, now you know the Karma's going mid. You can just play into the Karma. I think. Is it going to be a Galio special potentially here? I highly doubt it. I don't think Teddy would ever pick Galio.
I honestly think this looks like a pretty good away game. Intrigued to see if he picks it though. I think Huey is quite pickable. Victor, yeah,
it's going to be Victor.
Fine. Understandable. Yep,
I'm not a massive fan of this like last second change to have the Karma go mid lane by the looks of things. Of course, it could. No, I feel like it can't be anywhere but mid lane for the Karma. We are seeing some swaps come through, but not entirely a fan of it. But it can definitely work. It's a decent amount of shielding. Would you have preferred something like a Xin Zhao in place of the Pantheon potentially here if you are going the Karma?
For sure, if you're playing with Karma, but then again, just having the Karma mid instead of support really does screw with your team comp in this sort of situation. I'm looking at the OP.GG now. It seems that this is going to be a harder game than the games -1 have had so far, besides the Broad one. So that's nice to see for the competitive enjoyers here. Obviously played a couple of Silver and Emerald teams, as we all have in this tournament.
Well, we'll have to wait and see to find out. We're just waiting for the spectator delay as we do have some emotes being flung around the screen. But we will have to wait and see. This is, of course, a very different situation where this is now a question of the top 3 teams now, or top 2, should I say. Mostly because either one of Broad or Absolves will be taking that top spot after this next lot of games. And who's surprised? The 2 highest placing teams in Division 1 are top of the table. And quite interesting to see that. But this will basically be who is most likely to get 3rd place over these next this next game here will probably be the marker. Of course, there might potentially be tiebreakers after the fact, but we will have to wait and see. Yoon, what do you feel for this game?
I think this one is over in draft. I think the -1 players are better, from what I know, than the players on the side of Pink Mosquitoes, but I also just think this draft, it doesn't inspire confidence for me. I'd love to be proven wrong. I think it'd be great to get a competitive game, but I have a lot of faith in the ability of certain individuals on -1 to completely 1v9 this game. I'm looking at Dog Nappy especially to try and get an early advantage into Sion. Sion, obviously, the neutralizer against this Rumble, but I think Dog Nappy can get a good lead and try and run away with it.
Yeah, one thing I am quite surprised at is that the Galio was open, but they were opting for the Sion over it. I think that might prove to be one of the big choices in this draft. We did see that Dog Nappy did struggle into that Galio in game 1. But the question will be is whether or not he's able to kind of make a comeback from this.
I'm going to be completely honest because I think it's the job of a caster, but I think the Galio counter pick, even though you see it in pro play. I think it's a bit fake, to be honest. I think there are better matchups to pick into Rumble. So I don't really like seeing the Galio. Again, I think the Scion is probably a bit better in my opinion, but still not the best. However, Scion itself as a champion, as a Bastion, is very, very, very good right
Yeah, well, actually, I can ask you this: what would you have picked into the Rumble blind? Would you have picked potentially something?
Me personally, I
Yeah,
is it me in solo queue or me in a competitive environment?
we'll say in a competitive scenario,
Okay. Um,
because I know you're going to pull out something like Rise Top or something stupid.
I play Riven, but I honestly think you can play a better. But if you want to just neutralize Siren, is probably one of the better picks that you can do. Obviously, you can do a range stop if you really want, but again, it does make the team comp a little bit skew with.
I will just make sure that I am showing you the game, and then we will tune
It's always
in.
easiest cast when you can see the game.
It is a little bit helpful, isn't it?
What would you like to see the game plan be for Pink Mosquitoes who have got a bit of a hill to climb this game? Not a mountain, but a bit of a hill to climb.
I think first priority is making sure that this Draven cannot get off the ground. I think that's going to be the crucial part here. Swag has run away with the games whenever he gets these early leads. Make sure this Draven stays behind or even with the Ezreal, because I think later game, it's going to be easier to kill this Draven than it will the Ezreal, especially if they are on even footing. Both bot laners will be able to get that early vision in the bot side bush. Cody clears that ward away, so it will be advantage -1 in terms of this. And it's going to be a beautiful first hook landing onto Rwand here. Having to pop the heal early is Braum and the barrier as well. Swag and Cody already trying to press those early advantages. And so far, it looks like the -1 bot lane will need interference from the Pantheon from the Pink Mosquitoes. Might have to try and fly in.
Ezreal is a very strong level 1 champ, but you don't beat the Draven until your passive is stacked. And with only 2 stacks of the passive, I cannot remember the name off, which is quite bad for me. It's pretty doomed to fight 1v1. Yeah. The Mantra whiffs wide against Teddy. I was quite surprised when the waves collapsed mid for the very first time that neither of them tried to manipulate the wave to play on their side. Victor has a lot of power to zone this Karma early. Your Q cooldown is quite high.
Yeah, we are seeing some early aggression from Dognappy. We did see something similar to this in Game 1. Obviously, it didn't end up too well as he did take some significant damage from the turrets. But let's see if he's learned a little bit of a lesson. Did have some incredible performances after the fact, so potentially bouncing back significantly from that Game 1. But we'll have to wait and see. Currently a CS lead for the Rumble in top. With a nice little dredge line there onto AT, but Swag's going to be taking a decent chunk of damage, and now that Ezreal is that level 2, does have a little bit extra abilities, but AT's going to be dropping very low here. Not enough to get that kill, but it is going to be enough to get the flash from the Braum, and now Bacan is going to lock down Teddy. Doesn't manage to land that Q in the follow-up. So far, quite neutral in terms of overall gameplay. The lanes that are meant to be winning technically are in the form of top and bot, but like you said before, Scion is a neutralizing pick rather than an outright counter pick. And with this wave being up against him, he's going to be enjoying this very much. Pantheon in the area as well. Does look to take a reset after doing that first clear. Mimic is on a slightly faster timer, so we'll be able to get back out a little bit quicker. That's going to be the overheat there from Dognappy. It's a decent amount of damage on Designed.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of what Dognappy is doing this early game. It's just collapsing every single wave into the tower, crashing it all. And crashing the next wave, crashing the next wave. I'd like to see him play for a bit more of a crash a stacked wave into hold a bounce kind of situation into the Scion. Because how does the Scion break it without doing a good death moment?
Yeah, especially with these waves shoving in, it does give Scion a little bit more of a safer opportunity to farm up, which is kind of what you don't want to give the Scion, as it's significantly easier to farm safely when you're under your turret rather than in the middle of the lane. Zind is going to just have to try and make this work for the moment. Cody fishing for something there. The slow will stop him from making any kind of progress, but currently a CS lead for Swag in the bot lane. And you can just feel Cody wants to try and push that Q. Zind low on mana. Here comes the engage here from 80 onto the bot lane. Does deal a decent chunk of damage to Cody there, but is able to get out without using any kind of summoner spells. Mimics in the area as well. We have seen -1. They've gone every Drake other than the 4 in that first game. Since then, they have claimed every single Drake available. We will see Pantheon coming in. This is what you were talking about. This is very pushed up nature of Dognappy. He is going to be able to get the first blood onto the Scion, and that is able to flash backwards, but the Q does connect, and that's going to be a return kill from the Pantheon. And now the wave is in a very good spot for the Scion, who will be able to TP you straight back in and pick up every last little bit of it. But overall, I'd say that's a winning play for the Mosquitoes. As it comes to fruition, -1 will get the Hextech Drake to start up with. Ocean will be next, so we will not have either of those souls be available.
Yeah, we've got a bit of this. Well, it's because I'm eating. We've got a bit of a CS lead starting to form in top lane. Not that much for the matchup, but nothing to snuff at.
Scion does come through, and so does the Grand Starfall. Dognappy will get knocked up here. Going to be caught out a little bit as well. This might be a second death in a very, very quick amount of time. Knocked down, knocked out, and that's Dognappy. Second death on the board. Combination of the two ultimates from the top jungle of the Mosquitoes proves to be a bit too much for the Rumble to handle. Mimic is able to hold this wave here, so it'll at least give a bit of a lifeline to the top laner. And Zion will look to try and shove this out as quick as possible. Looking across the map, though, jungle very much in favour of the Pantheon. Currently up those 2 kills. Does mean he is up about 700 gold currently. Mid lane, it is a slight gold advantage for Teddy, but it's rather insignificant at the moment as there hasn't been all too much action in the mid lane. Bot lane definitely in favour of Swag. So right now it's just kind of waiting for objectives to come up and alive. Void Grubs spawning in 25 seconds. We do see an equalizer come down onto Zind, who does drop low, but does Dognappy have the damage to be able to take this Scion down? Lands the first harpoon, doesn't manage to hit the second. That Scion once again in that very low HP range. But can Dognappy close this out safely without sacrificing his own life?
What Draven is currently doing is exactly what I wanted to see Dognappy do. I wanted him to see him hold a wave with the Scion far exposed on the lane and just try and zone him off CS, try and zone him off XP. It's a lot easier to do in the 1v1 matchup top lane as well. But Draven got quite a large lead here. I'm quite surprised that mid lane is as even as it is, considering it's Victor into Karma. You feel like the Victor should have a lot more of a lead.
Are going to see a little bit of an aggressive fight here. It's going to be the hook that connects onto Rwanda there. It might not end in anything, but it will be summoners exchanged by both supports. But as you were saying on the mid laners.
Yeah, I'm just quite surprised that there's not as much of a lead as you'd think. I feel like Victor should have a very calm time. Was an R5 pick as well, but a very calm time here as both of Pink Mosquito's bot laners are dead here. No
Tower dive does come through, slightly disastrous in a little bit. Cody does end up falling, but it's double kill over to the Draven, and that will do wonders for the gold lead.
That is the cash in. So even though the dive could have been a bit better, I think Cody is happy to give his life there to guarantee a quick double kill and reset for the Draven.
sacrifice his life for Dravenstein, and that is now a massive, massive gold influx onto this this -1 carry.
Okay, it's nice to see Dog Nappy now utilizing what we saw Draven and Nautilus doing, and what I was hoping that he'd be doing the whole lane, just holding that wave. He might even get a quick reset here, denying Sion another wave of golden XP. Yeah, I think that this is the sort of place in his lane that he should be playing. He should be looking to crash, hit a plate, and reset whenever he feels like it.
Yeah, maybe slightly, a little bit overture at the moment in top lane. But Dog Nappy, he's been playing quite well, especially in the skirmishes. But still is one of the rookies on this roster. So we'll have to wait and see what he's capable of, especially when the full season begins, which is not all too far away now. Be especially looking forward to -1 against Spawn Peak. That will be an absolute banger.
Will be fun.
Absolute
fair,
banger game.
I feel like we have already won the mental game on that. Because we didn't have to talk first. Maybe now.
Oh, I'm going to say flash forward here.
Forced by Pumpkin Flash.
Oh, Mantra Q isn't going to be enough. There's not enough burn damage on the Karma to be able to take down the Victor, so he will survive. Flash for flash.
Like that was misplayed by the Pantheon. I think he could have got an extra auto in there after WA. But
did also hold the smite, which might have actually kept Victor just in range of that Karma Q. But now Swag needs to be a little bit cautious here. It does get locked up, and there is a lot of damage coming through. Cleanse has been burnt. Rowan, decent arcane shift away, but this Swag might have swung his last. It's going to be Cody falling, and then it's the Mantra from the Karma. Dog Nappy does take a TP in here. Might also have to exchange his flash just to try and escape. That's the Sion ult coming through. Unstoppable Onslaught. Not going to be able to connect, but now Zind is in a spot of trouble himself. Mimic is here to pay a visit, but it is going to be a gorgeous Mantra Q. Rwand, arcane shifting under the turret, ends up taking a death. It is going to end up being a 4 for 2 in favor of the Mosquitoes. Slightly overzealous there.
Yeah,
the
very
-1
much
bot
so.
lane.
Very much so. I feel like both teams kind of overdid it a bit there. I think -1 bot lane looking a bit too hard and got rightfully collapsed on. But then Rwand on the Ezreal, he's into tower and it becomes a 4 for 2 when I think it could have been a 3 for nothing. I think you'd be happier to see the 3 for nothing. The Vi is very much back in the game with those 2 kills.
I'm able to see Teddy finally put a little bit of pressure onto this Karma, but 2 kills in the pocket now means that Malignance is completed, and I have no doubt that there'll be another item starting on the way.
It does make me wonder, at what point is Victor fully outscaling? Because to me, I think Victor is stronger than Karma at almost all stages of the game. Maybe not right at the start, maybe not level 1 with the Empowered Mantra Q, but after that I can't really think of a situation where Karma can really play into the Victor at all. So I'd like to see Teddy try and abuse that fact and play a bit more aggressive than he is doing.
Yeah, now with the Blackfire Torch, that Dark Seal hasn't seen any kind of use outside of the stats it provides.
I think if you're the Pantheon in this game now, though, you have to start thinking about how you're going to accelerate the team now that you're accelerated yourself. How are you going to get leads onto other people on your team?
Yeah, it's the
Grand
classic...
Stovall coming up in about 30 seconds.
It's the classic jungle game plan of, now I'm winning, how do I get my team to win? Right now, the problem will lie with this Draven, still very much ahead of the Ezreal, but definitely not out of it is Rwand. Just having a look at the gold, it is still about 1.5 in favor of Swag currently, but we are going to see exchange ult for ult in top lane. Dog Nappy, equalizer goes down, but it is going to be ulted out. Here comes the Grand Starfall. Swag and Cody are the targets. Here comes the True Shot Barrage, but guess what? There's a Mimic in the backline, and that's going to be the Pantheon under a little bit of scrutiny here from the 3 members. Drops very low. 80's having to frontline here. Takes a decent chunk of damage. It's going to be the Whirling Death. It manages to pick up the kill onto the Braum. So Draven did get the payout
Wow,
before dying.
What a Q, what an empowered Q from the Pantheon. Takes down both the Nautilus and the Draven in one hit, and that's the triple kill for Pantheon. 7-0.
Triple kill.
I think he's going to have another full item when he gets back to base.
Meanwhile, Teddy fell in mid to the Karma. Not too sure what happened there. It was a pure 1v1.
Pretty shocking. Even with Karma's lead, I cannot imagine how you end up in a situation where that happens, to be completely honest.
-1, red side curse, it seems. Or is it just being
I'd like
too
to see them lock in
overzealous?
a bit more. They've got the much better team on paper. I'd like to see them try and prove it.
Yeah. Now, silver lining is that Draven did manage to get the payout by killing 80 before going down, so at least the cash out was there. The downside is this is a 7-0-1 Pantheon, and there is no sign of him slowing down.
A bit of a grace for the side of -1 is that they do have a lot of damage, and when you have a lot of damage, it means that enemy team's smaller mistakes can be punished by death. They do have bounties at the moment that if one goes to the Draven, if one goes to the Victor, this game starts to become more difficult.
Hook does come through here onto 80, and like you were saying, that damage is definitely showing its very ugly head in the form of these Draven axes. But this is actually going to be the latest that -1 have been able to take a turret outside of that first game. We do see Mimic coming from the side. There is no Arcane Shift. Mimic picks up that kill onto the Ezreal. And 80 might not be long for this world either, as Mimic is fishing.
Yeah, I honestly feel like in those situations that you should just be happy to collect the farm under your tower. We don't know where the Vi is. You don't need to E forward to secure the stun on the Nautilus. What does it really do for us here?
Yeah, we might get a little bit of a replay.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness gracious me. Okay, Victor is struggling. Did use the Chaos Field. It'd be interesting to see what he has got upgraded. Usually, is it the E first, if I'm correct in saying? Oh, never mind, we are going to see a Season Assist come through, but guess what? Teddy is falling low.
Most matchups you get that E. Mimic bailing his mid laner out there. 5 and 2 on the Fires. Really saved quite a few plays this game. Nice to see Mimic being quite proactive in terms of pathing to cover these players.
Yeah. Is still down in the gold department, but it's very hard to be ahead when your opponent is 7-0-1. But Teddy will be grateful for the assistance from the Vi, but now the lane swaps will come through. Swag and Cody move into this mid lane to try and get some of these plates that Teddy hasn't claimed just yet. But actually, in the meantime, top lane has come very quiet, so it seems like Dognappy has started playing on that little bit more passive side of things. Is still applying pressure to the turrets, but just a little bit less so. Teddy is once again going to be under the microscope of Bacan. And then the Herald of Dopa Bobsy.
I'm a little worried now by this Karma. Is this a rocket belt in the pocket that I'm seeing? I don't see any value in doing rocket belt this game personally, so
I guess it does help. It does help stick the root, but it might not be enough. Is it going to be a nice engage there from Mimic once again, able to pick up that kill, and that's what's going to be able to get this Vi on level with the Pantheon. A beautiful engage there. Does end up using the flash, but it's flash for flash, and Karma did also TP into that bot lane. So -1 are in favor for this fight. The Karma is not available for another 18 seconds with no TP, so it's more like 30. 80 is playing a little bit further forward, but the Pantheon's nowhere near. This Drake will go firmly into the hands of -1, and 80 is going to be the price that the Mosquitoes pay. Overzealous, overeager, overextension.
I think we can now confidently say that the game is, in my eyes, over. I think we're on sore point. The next dragon is the Mountain Soul that's out of -1. We've got a 2,500 gold lead, and now the Draven can really start pushing it in them.
Well, it seems that Dognappy would like to challenge your argument, as he is going to be under a little bit of pressure. Unstoppable Onslaught has been used. That's going to be the flash forward from the Pantheon. There is no flash on the Rumble, and now it's going to be a matter of life and death. He does go down. The Pantheon does fall low, but just a little bit too far forward. He's not really got much reason to be in the jungle. The wave is available. It's going to be Dognappy fallen. But I've said it multiple times. It would take a generational throw. And already we might potentially be seeing the fruits of that coming to fruition. But Swag still very much able to output the damage. Cody does land a decent hook, but will it be enough to take down the Braum? Burst comes through. Dredgeline isn't enough. Swag's going to be dropping low. Pantheon comes through. It's going to be a pickup there. The kill for Rwanda. It's a double kill for the Ezreal as well. They're getting a little bit too cocky here, -1, and they are being punished appropriately.
I think that completely removed the gold lead. However, the stats from the Drakes obviously don't count as part of that gold lead. If you're the side of Pink Mosquitoes, you're very happy to see the kills go to Ezreal, not the Pantheon. I think there's not much difference between a 9-0 and an 8-0 Pantheon. Both are equally terrifying, whereas this kill means a lot for Ezreal to try and get back in the game when Drake is so far ahead.
That doesn't mean that Ezreal is ahead in gold, mind you, but it definitely means that he can make a start on that next item.
Definitely claw a bit back here.
Has just purchased that completed mirror mana off of that reset, so right now, I would say
Where's the gold lead in each lane at the moment, if you don't mind us having a look?
Yep.
Let's zoom in on the player's gold. So we have a 500 gold deficit top lane for Dognappy. We have a 500 gold lead for the Pantheon. That's to be explained. I think Mimic has had a pretty solid game so far, but Pantheon has got 8 kills, even though it's got the same amount of kill participations. Mid lane, 500 gold for like now, behind the Karma. And a 1500 gold lead for the Draven. Rowan completely in a position to 1v9.
It's whether or not the team around him can let him go. Whether or not the leash will be freed. But right now, -1 have to keep this pressure going. This final Drake Mountain Soul up in 2 minutes and 10 seconds from now. Would be a very quick soul, but as some context, the previous game against the Fraudsters was over by this point. They were in the base, they were taking the Nexus, and now they've only gotten 2 turrets. It's 2 turrets to 2, of course, but this game has been significantly more competitive. And it's clear to see that -1 are not made of unstoppable material, as we are going to see an onslaught come through. It's going to be a lockup here. Pantheon caught in the middle of everything. It might be a little bit too far forward, in fact. Going to be dropping very low. Isn't going to die. Can't say the same for Zion as he does there fall. They are going to try and work this Scion zombie form out of the equation. No kind of whirling death here for Swag means that he can't close that gap onto, but he can pick up a kill onto 80. And that's a very winning fight there for -1. Didn't end up losing a single member. Got quite close. Teddy and Mimic both slightly kissing the door of death, not quite entering it. But this will be very good for their hopes of getting this Drake Soul as soon as it spawns in, with a nice little influx of gold into the Draven, who now has that Lord Dominic's regards. But Dognappy does need to still be very, very careful. It's an attack that Mandraku, and an Ezreal will seal the deal. That's Dognappy down, and crucially, he is down for the Drake spawn. Does have the TP, so he will be able to get back involved, but not on its spawning.
I'm not gonna lie, in a game like this, I'm not quite sure why either mid laner has the Rocket Belt. To be fair, I did flame Karma a little bit for it, and I also have to flame Victor a bit for it. What are we doing?
See, I can at least see the reasoning behind the Karma, because potentially you want to keep the route linked on, because there are some quite significantly fast members on -1, but I'm not certain on what it does for the Victor. On top of Onslaught, does land onto Mimic on the bot side, as the Drake is now up and alive. -1, definitely in a reserve position, but the Rumble is going to be able to get here in time. TP into the mid lane, and now Swag going a little bit further forward. Is going to try and get as much health as he can from that Bloodthirster on that wave. As you can see, -1, they're trying to put the pressure point on that mid lane turret so that they have to split up the Pink Mosquitoes. Oh, Glacial Fissure does manage to knock up 2.
The fight. Sion is completely poked out, and they've established a river prio by taking that mid prio.
Yeah,
I feel like Sion needs to base TP here. He's not got the health bar to be useful in a soul fight.
They do still very much need to be cautious.
Back on the map.
Mimic did get half health, has got the Guardian Angel, but in that time that he is down, he cannot smite this objective. And now we see Here comes the Pantheon. All in goes the Mosquitoes. It's going to be a decent fight. There's a lot of damage going everywhere, but no one's dying just yet. It's going to be the Braum who falls down first, and next Teddy will fall to that Mantra Q. Ezreal on the backline is going to be dying to the Rumble, and now in the midst of it all is Pantheon. Meanwhile, Mimic's GA did proc, and he's going to get shut down there by the Pantheon as well. It's currently a 3 versus 3, but it will turn into a 2 versus 3. Zind currently against Swag. Does pop the cleanse just to try and create some distance. Now it's a 1 versus 1 in terms of who's winning, and it's going to be the Pantheon who comes out on top. It's an ace here for the Mosquitoes. It's a great fight all through and through. -1 not able to claim this Drake Soul, and that will be delayed for a further 5 minutes. It's a messy fight.
I have to say, I have to give credit to Mimic. It was a losing fight for his team in the end, and they lost the soul. But didn't he play that fight well? He saved Victor's life with the original Vault break over the wall. Managed to stay alive so long with those under Sky procs and the GA timing. I really think he could have won behind that fight. Swag played the fight pretty well too, kited the best he could, but didn't quite have the health bars in front of him.
I think a shocking part of this is that even though the Scion has only built true magic resist items so far in the Force of Nature and the Hollow Radiance, he very much is not taking that much damage from this Draven yet, despite the item advantage that he has. But it just goes to show ever so slight differences, and that fight can very much go in the way of -1.
I don't remember if Draven had the LDR when that fight started.
He did.
He definitely has it now. He did. Wow, he still did not do a lot of damage to the Scion.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. -1, you're not invincible, but you need to be able to close this game out. 3 Drakes to 1. If this is a reversed sweep on the Drakes, this would be heartbreak for -1. They've done most of the work, 3 out of 4, but that last one might just be the elusive one they can never get. This Pantheon is now 11-0-3. And like you said,
what does worry me for the side of, if you don't mind me just saying, what worries me about the side of Pink Mosquitoes is that even if they do manage to take the next few Drakes, if the game lasts long enough, I think they get outscaled as well. I don't really see how the Ezreal will be as useful as a Draven, how the Karma will be as useful as a Victor in the later stages of the game.
I think it's entirely based on what the Pantheon can do. If the Pantheon can get in there, a massive Karma Shield going on will be crucial. Mimic charging up a Vault Breaker, not going to go over the wall just yet. Now GA in the pocket of Faker Dopa Bobsy. And has been a very star player here for the Mosquitoes. Has really been managing to find those crucial angles. Hasn't got the Grand Starfall, so will not be able to kind of hunt down any engages. But an absolute standout performance from this Pantheon.
Yeah, you have to give him his credit. He has had a great series. I don't even think he's playing his main role either, judging by his OP.GT. It seems like he usually plays mid lane. So really, really well done for this individual.
Potentially bad engage here for the Mosquitoes, as it is going to be a beautiful equalizer coming through from Dognappy, but the damage is coming down a bit too much. It's going to be a very nice True Shot Barrage. There's a lot of damage onto all 5 of them. Big knock up there from Zion, but it's going to be 80 falling down first to Teddy. Scion falls soon after, and they're going to just work down this Scion zombie form. But can these health bars carry on the fight? Buchanan and Rwand.
Yeah, the Karma really, really made that quite difficult. Walked way too far forward. Got the Nautilus ult, had to retreat back for a team, and the secondary part of the Nautilus ult, the knock up on the way to the original target, hits 4 people.
Now, I don't want to alarm anyone, but Pantheon ult is very close to coming off of cooldown. It might not be here in time, and it looks like it won't, it will not come out. This is Baron.
Really making a meal of this game, though. 28 minutes in, and we've not seen a tier 2 taken yet.
This is one of those games where it feels like it's going to go the distance to the point where a single team fight is going to decide the entire game.
I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. From everything that I've been hearing, I thought the level would be a bit higher.
Well, we'll see in a minute's time when this Mountain Drake is alive, whether or not they can hold their salt in the UKEL May Monthly Cup. It's going to be a hook dredge line, comes through onto 80 there, the Braum. Doesn't end up dying. honestly, not all too much to be said and done there. We're already seeing a little bit of pressure coming down on all the corners. Be it nerves, be it struggles, be it a lack of synergy. -1. This is a need to win game. This is not where we expected them to be.
It might sound like doom and gloom, but I still think they will win this game. I'm just surprised at the fact that it feels like they've had a really good chance.
Bacan, overextension. The Karma drops. That's going to be a crucial kill there. Zion is also lined up in the sights of Swag. Dognappy's going to be the one who claims that kill, and now it's the Scion trying to hunt down whatever he can. Running as fast as he can, but he's already taken down. Swag
Dognappy
is...
with the E flash forward that misses onto the prawn as well. Yeah, it feels like the Karma just needs to hold her nerves a bit here. A couple of oversteps now, and it's been capitalized on well by this Nautilus.
I would think that with the Proto Belt, you'd be able to disengage quite easily, but he's using it aggressively. And that... Oh, hang on a second. Doesn't mean that the Soul's going over. It's actually stolen by the Pantheon. Oh my goodness, -1. It's Heartbreak at the death. And we're going to have to wait another 5 minutes. Now, this is a 1v1, which I'm going to see go the exact wrong way for the Pink Mosquitoes, but if in any case, that you're expecting that outcome, what you weren't expecting was probably to be able to steal the Drake in that time. And that will definitely put the brakes on for -1 as they go another 5 minutes without being able to claim this soul. And right now, it's not looking great.
We're coming up to Infinity Edge on the Draven. Quite a late Infinity Edge, of course. Draven likes to pick up the Bloodthirster, likes to pick up that earlier Hex Optics. So, pretty standard stuff still. But it might have overstayed here with a tag. But no Ezreal to fire the Mystic shots to trigger that stuff.
Yeah, just the Karma as the long-range damage. Mimic now is going to be the target of AT. Glacial Fissure will not be able to connect onto the Project Vi there. But if it does land, then I think it is definitely a curtain call for Mimic. Or even the GA proc. But right now, next major objective will be another Baron in 2 minutes and 40 seconds from now. 3 minutes 40 for the Drake. There will be crossover between the two, especially if there is a delay in taking this Baron. And Infinity Edge is now in that pocket of Swag.
For Victor too, so we've got 3 full items and the enhanced boots that you get from the mid lane quest onto the Victor right now. Victor should feel like he's really pumping the damage out. He has a lot of cooldown reduction and really get those arcane rays or whatever that ability is called across the team fight. This should be his moment to shine.
This is the first time we're seeing on stage these 5 players, the new -1 roster. So far they've had hiccups, and it seems like they're still struggling with closing out these games. Almost like they're relying on a major amount of kills, but Mimic will be able to find 80. Doesn't manage to deal a lot of damage, but it's going to be Pantheon who's going to be the target here. Swag throwing as many axes as possible. That's Mimic proccing the GA. And right now, oh my goodness gracious me, that is a lot of damage, and Ezreal will be taken down. Scion 2, Mimic is going to be in a little bit of a dicey spot. Does manage to step away from the Pantheon Q before it manages to reach him. That does give -1 the kill advantage now, as they will look to run down this mid lane. I do not feel they'll be able to close this out though, just sheerly because of that Karma damage. Teddy does take very aggressively and might trade his life for it here. Definitely has to trade his flash.
Very unnecessary for Teddy. He's not been aggressive the entire game, and the one moment he decides to be is just the wrong time. The wrong time. Would like to talk Dognappy's equalizer that game. Really made the room for Mimic to come out of his GA unscathed. Really nice placement.
It's impossible to play the floor is lava if all you've got is floor, as that little corridor proved perfect for -1. They end up not trading anything. They do trade the GA, but I think you're happy trading that for a couple of kills, as now a GA in the pocket of Swag. This is crunch time. 10 seconds till the Baron. A minute after that for the Drake. We might be potentially going all the way to Soul Point for both teams. And my goodness gracious me.
I have a funny feeling that whilst it is likely, I just feel like we're not going to. I think this is the fight where Rowan is going to get a quadra-kill. I've got that feeling. There's my prediction. There's my third eye coming through. Do you have any gut feeling who you think is going to end up closing this game out? We do have the 4k gold lead on the side of M1, but the majority of that gold will be in the Draven.
Yeah, I don't want to sort of change over the screen as it feels like a fight is imminent. A lot of damage coming through from the Karma. Here comes the True Shot Barrage. Doesn't manage to connect onto anybody. But right now, we're not seeing Teddy being able to put down this poke damage that we were hoping to see. As we do have a quiet moment. It's a 5k gold lead for the Draven. So it looks like the entirety of the gold lead is situated in that Draven currently. As I look elsewhere, the only other significant win is the Rumble in top lane. -1. We'll move down to the Drake. They're going to prioritize the Soul over...
I can just do this with Draven. I think this is gone.
Pantheon has flash, though.
Used to make it harder for them to walk in. I think it
Let's see. Pantheon, can you flash this right? He doesn't flash it right. That's going to be the Mountain Soul going into the hands of -1, but the GA is now up and available for the Pantheon. Cody goes forward, manages to land the ult onto the Ezreal, as well as the Cease and Desist goes through. This is where...
Draven is free-firing.
Free-firing on to everyone. He's not even been touched all game. It's going to be the GA that comes through, but -1. Oh, none for 3. TP comes through now. Victor's going all the way back. It's going to be the Karma TP as well. It's going to be a base battle here between the mid laners. Let's see who stands on top. Mimic, can you find this Q? They want to go through bot. They have the wave in bot. They will be able to shove this in. The question will be is can they get it in time before all the members of the Mosquitoes are back up? It is the two most dangerous, it feels like, members of the Mosquitoes still alive. The poke from the Karma and the Ezreal might prove a bit too much. It's going to be the Equalizer coming down. Not the greatest of placements, but it will help them get that first turret. The second one will fall down soon after. It might just be a question of how long does it take a -1 to take down a Nexus. GA will be procced by the Draven. And it is going to be a double kill for AT, but Swagger's still free firing, and it's just about going to be. They do trade 3 at the end. It looked a little bit close, but -1 will come out.
I think that's a loss. I feel like that is a loss if they don't end there. The massive top wave for the side of Pink Mosquitoes and TP is available.
Yeah,
why would they ever potentially just throw the game like that? That was a really rough showing, even though they got the victory. It's rough showing for -1 there.
My gut was absolutely in knots. As we are waiting on one final game. Absolved versus Broad and Friends. The top 2 from the UK Div 1. This will, I believe... Okay, depending on how the game goes, Broad and Absolve are either... One of those two is guaranteed first or second. One of those is guaranteed it. I'm fairly certain. -1 currently sits second, but that is before the final games can commence. There will be 3 teams on 4 and 1. 1 team on 5 and 0. The rest will be on 3 and 2 minimum. Currently, your 4 contenders for the top of the table. Cabbage Core, -1, Broad and Friends, and Absolved. Cabbage Core have been very much a dark horse, it feels. I don't think I've...
Cabbage Corp, so I can give you a bit of a reason as to why they are the way they are. So, as you can see, they've got players like Porp, players like Spark, so former stars for Broad, alongside people like QQR and Gregors. So they have a lot of classic big UKL names. Not surprised that they've done well.
I'm not 100% certain on how the format works, but if you cannot have rematches, then that means that -1 cannot face Broad and Friends again. And it means that they will be facing one of Absolved Cabbage Core. Then the other will be going on to face Broad and Friends. I feel like it has to be Absolved then, because Cabbage Core... Because it can't be a rematch between Absolved and Cabbage Core because they've already played each other. I'm just checking through the previous games. -1 have only played Broad. Cabbage Core have played Absolved. Have Broad and Friends played Cabbage Core? Because if so, they have not. So I feel like it's already I feel like we can already tell what the final games will be, as Absolved was able to win it. Absolved beat Broad and Friends. The finals of the UKEL Div 1 goes the way of Absolved over Broad and Friends, and that is an absolute. I feel like that's an upset. I know
It's
it's the
definitely an
top two
upset, but
teams.
I do feel like we have to remember that Broad and Friends are not playing with their roster. This is a Friends team more than anything. They do have Akkers, they do have Tweak from the main roster, Akronos, the new addition to mid lane for Broad, but they're playing with Nico from Minari, and they're playing with I think that's Brian the Lion, if I remember correctly, Little
Yes.
Pants. So again, I'm not saying that they're bad players at all. They're all very, very good, but I think synergy matters a lot. Obviously, for example, the team I played with today, good friends of mine, but we've never played on the same team before. And that made it really fun, but also a bit trickier than it could have been.
Now, I have been following this Absolved roster very closely, actually. They followed me on Instagram after one of the streams, so I have actually been able to follow along with their roster and their development. So they're definitely looking to be a very good team, especially Utki on that top lane. But I feel like the final games are already decided. I feel like it's going to be Broad versus Cabbage Core and then Absolved against -1. I feel like that if it doesn't allow for repeats.
Yeah, I'm assuming it doesn't allow for repeats. -1 is against Absolved and Cabbage Corp against Broad and Friends. -1 can play for a top 3 finish here.
Yeah, it
Honestly,
is.
top 3 finish when you played this many Emerald teams is quite impressive. But the real challenge is here, playing against Absolved.
And it is peak Absolved team as well. It is not a
It is a
baby
4 out
roster.
of 5 main roster.
It
4 out of
is.
5 main roster.
We'll have to wait and
They're
see.
missing a meal in the mid lane, but other than that, this is a full power Absolved. So it'll be quite the challenge. I'm excited to see if they can do it. We'll be rooting for -1 to do this. We couldn't beat them. It was a close game, but we couldn't quite get through to them. But hopefully, the time that -1 have spent playing together makes it so that they have a good chance of finishing this one.
Now, I will say I think there is a universe where there is a tiebreaker for third. I think if both Cabbage Core and -1 lose, they will face each other in a tiebreaker.
I'm not sure if that's going to be the case because I believe they did put out information about what will happen if teams finish on the same score. So it goes to. Oh, okay. So the tiebreakers at the end of round 6 are decided by the median Bachols, which is the sum of score of all opponents faced, excluding highest and lowest scoring opponents. And then it goes to head, and then it's the Bajol score itself, and then it's the initial seed, which is random, of course. So, who's had the harder run, really? That is going to decide who wins out of the two teams that lose these final 2 games. Who gets third place? It's going to be decided by who had the harder run in.
Yeah, well, by the looks of things,
Universe, true, Shorty, true.
-1 faced off. They started off against Broad, which I don't think. Does that mean that the game against Broad wouldn't count?
From the first one, it seems to be the case. The sum of the score of all opponents faced, excluding the highest and lowest scoring opponents.
Okay, I've just realised that's completely irrelevant because Cabbage Court have beaten G2R Orb and they've beaten Akari's party, who are both higher than Ducky, SSU, and Fraudsters. So this is a must-win situation for -1. They
so
have
what is
to
that
win.
I'm hearing? That they had the. So you're saying that -1 had the easier run in, so they have to win this game if they want a top 3. They'll be second if they win this game, I believe. That's pretty impressive.
they will go to second. But wait, hang on. It's
I'm just toying with you. It is a random thing, so some teams will just naturally, of course, have a harder time. Doesn't mean it's anyone's fault in particular. But yeah, maybe they can get a second place finish here. That would be pretty amazing for the team.
it will be a decent confidence boost. Actually, I'm not sure if they can get second.
Well,
Because
if
no
they
matter
win,
what,
there'll only be 2 teams that are 5 wins.
yeah, but one of Cabbage Court or Broad and Friends is guaranteed to be on 5 wins, and both of them would outplace.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Only one of them will be on 5, though. And if they win, they'll be the other 5.
Uh,
Oh,
and then
Absolved are on 5.
Absolved are
Okay,
also on 5.
I
So
see.
-1
So
are
this
only
is the
guaranteed third, or not guaranteed third, but can only play for third, basically, unless. No, because they lost to Broad and Friends. Cabbage Core has the higher average opponent score, and Absolve would have beaten them. So in the head-to-head, they would have lost to Absolve. So this is a must-win. This is a must-win situation, and my goodness, what
Come on, lads.
what an absolute monster of a of a lineup you have to be. Oh boy. But this is the final game of the day. We've been going since 12 o'clock. This is the longest I have ever, like, not just casted but like streamed in general. Well, I mean, not
Sure,
including
everyone
the.
appreciates the stream. Sure, everyone watching and at -1 is very grateful for your casting as well. I think it's very cool to see you so involved with UKL and elevating everyone. It's really good for everyone.
Ooh, we are in the lobby now. No break, no break for this. Just awaiting everyone to join in the lobby. Yoon, we will just quickly go to a break just while we're waiting on everyone and then the draft to begin. But we'll
Of
be
course.
back very shortly with everything.
See you soon, viewers.
See you guys very, very shortly. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the final game of the day. This is a must-win situation. If they win, they are guaranteed third place. If they lose, they go home with nothing. The stakes cannot be higher as they are now against the highest seed, almost a 4 out of 5 power level absolved esports team, the Div 1 runners-up, who just come off beating the winners, Brod. Nivea will be the first ban. That's for -1. Now, Katarina has been a consistent stowaway from the -1 roster. Teddy even, has definitely been sort of denied that pick all throughout today.
Yeah, Katarina, a very annoying champion to play against. Is usually seen as a solo queue champ. However, can still be a bit annoying.
We are going to see that Orianna ban come through, as you said, last game. Potentially -1. Waiting to see if Absolve would take it off. This is going to be a very difficult game for -1. They haven't been at their best form, especially not in these past couple of games. And any mistake that they make, Absolved will absolutely annihilate. So -1.
I do agree. I feel like Absolved are a very good team. However, I've said it before playing alongside them, and just because I'm not playing them anymore, it doesn't change my mind. I do believe that they are good players. I do believe they can win this. It is similar to what I said last game, a bit of a hill, the blue side. Let's see what the first pick is.
Lucian open, Ezreal open. We haven't seen Swag on that Ezreal. A pick he has been very confident with.
We all get ABC first pick. We do see swap through.
Yeah, Swag get picked up. It's the Lucian. Now the question is what do you pick up early? Do you go something like Ezreal Braum to try and deny the value? Because this could be anything coming out from -1. This could be Lucian Melio. They could be more aggressive and go Lucian Braum.
I'd like to see a more aggressive option. I'm not sure what that will end up being, but I'm always a fan of seeing Swag and Cody. I do think they are the best laners on -1 currently. I'd like to see them play forward a bit. I don't want to see them play scared.
This is a very early Renekton, I feel. Especially since it wasn't a B1 top pick. Interesting to see. I kind of
understand it. I think they're happy to do the Renekton early pick into Dognappy's champ pool. I think Dognappy could opt for something like a Cassante, something like a Scion, and just put the fries in the bag. But I don't think he's the sort of person to do that.
Yeah, definitely has shown he's got a little bit more of a chip on his shoulder, especially in this tournament. As
he is a former Absolve player himself, we've got to remember. Dognappy is someone who played a lot of games for Absolved in the splits gone by.
We do see Vi again. Mimic, I do feel, had a very, very good performance on the pick. Question is, will he be able to close this game out a little bit cleaner? And as a team, will the members of -1 be able to just make things a little bit less close shave? Cassante does come through. That's going to be the pick up for Dognappy. So support will be resided to the second half of the draft. Question is, what do you pick as Absolved? We might, for, I believe, every single time it's been mirrored picks, it has been Team 1 picks their lane, it gets counter-picked with another lane, then it gets counter-picked with the third lane, and then that gets counter-picked on pick 3, and it's not going to change for this game.
So that's Utki on the Pantheon. He played Viego first, because we played against, my team played against Absolved earlier today. He played the Viego and went 15 kills.
I think this is a very scary situation for -1. Having an absolute powerhouse as Utki on the Pantheon is definitely not going to be an easy task to battle. Melio is taken away, so that's one of those Lucian pairings gone. I expect that Braum will be the second one they take away, unless they intend on picking it up. But in which case, what do you ban away if you're picking the Braum? Do you take away that Nautilus that Cody is so proficient on, or do you... I'm just wondering what it is that you're looking to ban here.
I'm going to throw out a prediction here. Whilst I'm not sure about the bans, I'm seeing visions of the Cassiopeia coming out on 4 for Absolved here. Visions of the Cassiopeia.
That is the Nautilus ban, so it looks like it might potentially be that Braum.
I mean, Nautilus is good into Braum. Are we worried about the side of -1 taking the Braum here? but it doesn't really make sense.
I feel like you have to choose one of them to ban. Do you ban Cassiopeia or do you ban Braum? I feel like the Braum is the easier of the two bans, but then what do you partner this Lucian up with?
I'm if I'm -1, I'm banning Cassiopeia here. If I'm thinking,
Nami is a weird one,
Nami's
I
not a
feel.
good support on this patch. I also don't really like the pairing with Caitlyn. If I'm Caitlyn, I'm going. Yeah, I called it. I called it. It's
Yeah, those
Cassiopeia on
dashes.
4.
Dashes shall
It's
be denied.
dashes. They're low range. Cassio is very, very good at the moment. There's no Nivea available. Um, I'm intrigued to see if Teddy can play whoever.
They're wanting to go much more. That's a based pick. That's
I don't
based.
mind it. I don't mind it. I think it is a
Poppy is
bit rough
good.
for the lane phase, but I don't mind it in general. I like Poppy here.
Is good. Poppy is locked. Okay. Oh, this is an.
Okay, from draft, who are you feeling from draft?
As much as I think the Cassiopeia, I think you are right about the Cassiopeia being a better pick than the Victor. I do still think that Absolved have a very significant advantage.
I think so too, but I think as good as Absolved are and as good as -1 can be, obviously not as proven as Absolved roster, they've been top 2 for the last 2 splits. I want to see them play a clean game here, because I think a lot of the time these games have been decided not by the team that takes the proactive approach, but by the team that ends up making a mistake and leads himself into a bad skirmish, into a bad fight, into a bad base, etc. So I quite like to see them play a clean game and try and be proactive about things.
Well, we will have to find out the hard way, unfortunately, when we get into game in about 3 minutes' time. In the meantime, we'll go to a break, let you get some refreshments, and we will be right back.
Yo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final game of the May monthly UKEL Cup.
Whoop, whoop.
And this is definitely not going to be an easy one here for -1. This is a absolute behemoth of a roster. We see Rhythm, Utki, Kimara, Bloodlust, and Beanlord on the side of Absolved. Currently, the only invincible team remaining. They did just beat Broad and Friends, the winners. And why is chat on? Nope. No slurs, thank you.
What makes it clear to me this game is that Absolved are 4 out of 5 strong. The one person they've not got is their usual mid laner, so can Teddy abuse that? Decent trade. Leona flashing in straight away for the Caitlyn cleanse.
That is a Caitlyn cleanse gone, and the heal as well.
Heal.
Okay.
I think that ended up working pretty well for the side of -1. I'd be quite happy.
This is an interesting start, that's for sure.
Aurora does really well into Victor at these low levels. Before Victor can really get a bit of AP and get that E online, these Q trades always in Teddy's favour. He can Q, auto, pull back the Q, get that electrocute proc. How do you trade against that? How do you trade against that as you feel Victor? You see a bit of a slow push coming through from the side of Absolved on both mid and bot. How are you feeling about this one, Tinser? How's the nerves?
Part of me is worried. Very worried indeed. Now, -1. Definitely do have their work cut out for them, but whether or not they can basically meet the outperform expectations will be that big deciding factor.
It's very funny there. In my head, originally I was about to say Mimic caught there. However, it's his jungle that's being raided by Absolved here. Using that bot lane push to check where the Vi is. If IQ's in here, this fight doesn't look too bad. Opts to go clear. Top scuttle instead. Victor could deny Vi walking through here. Could look for a bit of poke and perhaps can move through. There's no way Vi's going to go for the smite throw. It's a little too risky. The Magic the Gathering, God himself being Lord on the Poppy.
This is definitely a difficult game for -1, but whether or not they are capable of completing this absolute monster of a game. Now, it's going to be a further engage here. It's going to be Cody going forward. Beanlord has to back away. Swag not able to follow through. Beanlord drops very low.
Oh, Swag, it's a bit much. Caitlyn gets baited in here, though. Mimic is looking for the Q flash. First blood, and the E on the minion from Mimic.
Very well played there by -1.
Very well played from Mimic. Swag a little bit forward with the flash, but it did end up mind controlling a little bit, so maybe it wasn't a bad idea. Again, I don't think this matchup is particularly nice for Renekton, unless Rhythm knows the Terminus tech. Terminus is very good on Renekton, as much as it sounds like a troll buy. You get that armor pen, you get that magic pen. Why is magic pen useful on Renekton, you ask? Well, it's because his ult AoE does quite a lot of magic damage, especially at the second and third ranks. Quite nice to have that extra 30% pen.
Yes, indeed. We are seeing this -1 roster doing very well indeed.
We're at a bit of a deficit in top and mid on CS. You kind of expect a bit of an early deficit on CS in the top lane, maybe not in the mid lane, but that matchup does swing round to the Cassante the longer the game goes on, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he's having a little dance. He's having a little dance. A lot more chilled out than we are watching this. Quite nervous for the lads.
It's a stressful situation. I mean, I'm watching it, and I'm getting stressed out about it.
Committing the Chaos Storm onto Aurora. I don't think this is a kill, though. Aurora now ult advantage for the next 100 seconds or so as the Victor ults are cooldown. Riven looking for another proxy. Knows Vi should be bot side at this moment in time, matching the Pantheon net clear. Absol can start the Drake up. Some early dragon stacking for the side of Absolved. You kind of expect that when you've got a Caitlyn lane that you should have the prior to get the dragon stacking.
-1 are up in kills. They are behind in terms of the objectives. The Drake is going to be taken. But if you're Mimic, you're very much happy indeed. Between Worlds comes through there on mid lane. It is going to be Chimera in a slightly bad spot. Rhythm, though, might be finding his own.
Seems like Renekton has opted in for the Black Cleaver. My Terminus propaganda hasn't worked again. Oh, Dogmappy could look for the all-in here. We're dropping the Dominus as well. The healing comes through from the Cool the Meek. See, I know the ability names too.
Dognappy, I feel like Dognappy can play that to get a kill there. I feel like it was...
I think he could have got the kill there. And it would have been nice for him when he's 30 CS down. Bit of a nothing burger support matchup this.
Yeah, not looking all too... disastrous as of yet.
Absolved take all 3 of the groups. That'll be nice for them later on. When Caitlyn is able to see each. A lot of the time, my vision of what Caitlyn does in a draft is that you want to get her hitting towers. She can headshot towers, she has fantastic range, she can really get access to waves to push it. But so we might get a skirmish here. Victor's walking down, Teddy isn't there. Nothing really comes of it.
The numbers advantage there for Absolved. But -1 will not take it.
Death Brush.
Good reaction. Is here. Poppy. Steadfast Presence denies the Zenith Blade connection. But the Solar Flare does come through. Dognappy making moves on top lane.
A small trade's coming to a full all-in here from the Victor.
No all out
Very
available for
happy
Dog
to
Nappy.
jump in. I want to see him go for it. I think it is possible. If he could have E'd above the Renekton, maybe he could have done. And then maybe Renekton a bit too much HP to actually be able to kill there, but... Oh, Victor took a tower shot! He just killed himself.
Oh my goodness, and now the Pantheon is going to be very much overextended. Zenithblade does connect, so it's going to be able to try and get Teddy out of here. Pantheon does actually end up extending his stay, and it might be extended to the rest of time. UKEL in a bad spot potentially here. Mimic gets that kill, is on a killing spree. Complete opposite of what we saw last game. -1, play it very well. Punishing that mistake from Kamara.
Yeah, I want to say that was a 1v1 kill, but I can't say it about Smiling because he did take 2 tower shots for no reason. But Teddy, good job on...
it was a 1 versus 1 between Victor and the tower.
Capitalise on it. Capitalise on it. And again, Mimic. Can't place this guy enough. Always in the right place.
Bloodlust ends up taking a decent amount of damage there.
I'm looking a bit scared here. Honestly, a -1 to putting a shift in.
Well, as you say, that cast a curse, as we are going to see Cody drop very low, but guess what? Guess what? Swag decided. Oh, all out comes through here from Dog Nappy, but it's going to be met by... Oh, Dominus. Dog Nappy does end up going down. The turret's not going to be able to assist the Cassante enough. Mimic has to back away.
This is not the way that I think the match should be going. The CS lead makes sense. Renekton early pressure makes sense. 30 CS quite a lot, and a solo kill that always rubs me the wrong way a bit there, but I don't think it's all doom and gloom. The rest of the map is doing great. Mimic is 3-0. The only real threat at the moment is this dragon stacking as the second Drake goes over to absorb. Wow, okay, we're going Collector on Caitlyn. Interesting. Interesting. I really thought that the build at the moment was the Hex Optics i.e. LDR combination. I've not really seen the Collector Caitlyn in a few seasons now, so let's see if it ends up doing any work. Any particular work here.
-1 in the driver's seat in this must-win game. If they win this, they will get 3rd place. Teddy has got that rocket belt to be able to try and dash away from the victor, and now here comes a very long-range Mimic, able to capitalize on the over-exaggeration from Chimera. Teddy needs to still be a little bit careful, but Mimic will be able to clean that up nicely. Once again, Mimic, the positioning is unbelievably good. As now Swag and Cody unleashing the power of hell onto the bot lane of Absolved. Keeper's verdict?
Yeah, Keeper's verdict.
Keeper's verdict, yeah. Steadfast presence is the W, Keeper's verdict is the L. Why was I
I'm not
concerned
gonna
about
lie.
that?
I'm not gonna lie, I think Poppy is a strong champion, but I do really like her theme and her ability names. The theme of looking for the hero to give the hammer to, not realizing she is actually the hero herself, if I remember correctly.
Oh, Dog Nappy's been caught lacking. He is going to get ulted down, so that's going to be the all-out, but my goodness gracious me, Pantheon has said no. Okay.
Sorry, just the way he did that long combo just to get a single spear, not even an empowered one, into the face. Mimic is dead here. I don't know why he walked so far forward. He knows the Pantheon is there.
Not a shutdown, thankfully.
Yeah, he's very fortunate. I honestly think he's a shutdown if they're absolved aren't on 2 Drakes, because that is taken into consideration. So quite fortunate to not be worth a shutdown there. First tower goes over to absolved.
Now, Bloodlust in a bad spot here. Swag managed to get that last auto. The Chaos Storm isn't going to be able to land onto Swag, but the stun will not come through. Oh, Beanlord might have just saved Swag. It's going to be a very, very close fight. Oh, the dash gets cancelled. Swag misplays the Keeper's verdict. The Steadfast presence not quite.
Go on, Cody. Cody should turn here. I think he can honestly.
Cody absolutely can.
I thought he could have killed the Victor, to be honest. He auto Q with aftershock damage. I think he had it. But would rather opt to not take any risks. Maybe the Chained Lace Crushes gives him enough magic damage to to not die to that. Who knows? But I would have gone for it. But that's why I'm not a support.
Yes, indeed. Now, -1. Have slightly squandered something a little bit. They are down 2 Drakes. Whether or not that will
The third
be...
one comes up in 2 minutes time.
Now, Bloodlust might be in a spot of bother here. Hasn't exactly been able to hit the ground running yet. Has the ADC for Absolved.
I honestly, I feel kind of bad for Bloodlust. Don't think he's been played for at all this game. He's kind of been left out to rot, and Teddy on the Aurora gets the kill on the solo Caitlyn. Yeah, this Caitlyn is completely useless. I think the build is bad, and I just think he's way too far up, way too often. The thing is about this Absolved team comp is that you do kind of rely on your Caitlyn, your range damage dealer, to be ahead. And if you look over, this gold lead might be 300 gold, but effectively it's down 1,000, down 2,000 gold, because the gold lead is on Pantheon, the gold lead is on Renekton, it's not on the Victor, it's not on the Caitlyn. I think this game could get quite difficult for Absolved. 15 seconds on the Ocean Drake. -1, currently in prime position for this. Absolved trying to fight for mid prio and river prio, but Poppy is getting quite chunked. I don't think they have the damage here to connect to Leona. I think this is an overplay.
Yeah, -1 do manage to get the first and second blood, but the health bars are looking quite low. Swag's having to dash away from Rhythm, but Chimera is going to be at a bad spot as Dognappy is chasing him down. Locked down now by Cody is Chimera, and that's going to be 1-2 punch. Mimic claims that. There is going to be Ace in the hole coming through. Cody manages to block that, but Mimic is not long for this world by the looks of things. But this Renekton is not long either. Over the wall he goes, and they, -1, they need to be very, very cautious.
Oh, is he positioning to go in here over the wall?
It's going to be 1 for the Renekton. Mimic needs to be very, very careful here.
Honestly, I want to call that a misplay from River. I think that if you know the Lucian has barrier, whether you know it's up or not, I think you should play for the slice into the W empower, break any chance of him barriering, break that shield onto the Lucian, and then you can auto or Q the Leona afterwards. I think W in the Leona was a bit of a misplay. However, it's easy to say that when you're not in the game. The pressure of playing is a lot different. But I think that could have gone better for the side of Absolved. That is 3 Drakes. 3 Drakes for Absolved. Soul Point coming up soon.
So
Joe has spammed question mark in the chat, but I don't know when that was said. So if you could tell us what that was for, Joe. Was it the Victor running under tower? Was it the... Who knows? I can't remember any other crazy weird moments. Was it the Caitlyn dying mid-solo to Teddy, maybe?
Caitlyn was very, very far up.
Yeah. Caitlyn's got a bit of a death wish this series.
Or was it the Drake? Or was it the Drake?
Edition.
It might be the Drake.
Oh, it was there before the Drake. Bloodlust is the new addition to the Absolved roster.
There is a fight going on in top side here. Okay, taken down. Dognappy in a 1v1.
Can't get to hit the tower. I know what he wants to do. I know he wants to go finish that tower off. His E was cancelled too. I think this is an all-in timer from Casante. I think you can send it here and actually win. The Dominus comes out.
This might be curtains for Dognappy. He is going to get dropped low, but there in comes the all-out. Oh my goodness gracious me! That is beautiful there from Dognappy.
I don't know. I don't know what Renekton's doing here. I think I think once Constante's playing that far forward, you can't really go for that. He should have been happy on the W damage and maybe done the redive when his ult ended. But Eing in and then getting CC'd, getting that tower aggro whilst being CC'd, it's a horrible feeling for an actor. This is a bit rough gameplay. Everyone's making mistakes. Oh, and Mimic walked up and died, Joe. Yeah, you're spot on. You're spot on. That was also a question mark moment that I completely forgot about. So far, I don't see -1 able to lose this, really. I don't think they're going to... I don't think they're going to be able to lose this position. Really don't. Caitlyn is completely homeless and useless. Relectin is starting to fall off against Xante on sides. Yeah, this game's getting hard. Looks like we're getting a third place for -1.
Yeah, it's definitely looking good. As we are going to see UKEL once again caught out on this top side. Oh, but this might be a little bit overzealous here from Mimic. It's going to get pushed back by the Poppy. Has to use the Vault Breaker to try and get out. But guess what? There is a denial there from the Poppy. But now Teddy able to deal damage. Decent chunk of damage at that as well. Dognappy having to flash away. As it's going to be... Oh, my goodness. Teddy is... Oh, it's not looking good. Teddy.
He choked it. I think if you go in for that, you have to have the foresight to see the champion can E. You shouldn't pull your Q back straight away because you can just wait the timer and then pull out the Q once its E is done. Bit of a misplay there from Mimic, from Teddy. I didn't see whether his bounty fell off before he died or after, though. So I'm not quite sure if that was a big shutdown or not.
-1. Are potentially in a spot to come out of this very much on top. The question will be, can they hold their nerves together? This is definitely a matter of... It's a matter of making sure... Just, you need to keep it together. This is going to be one of the most stressful situations. I think this is the best chance -1 is going to get at an absolute top-class opponent. Absolved are at almost full capacity, at almost full strength. -1, they do have their full team. Keeper's Bird is going to knock away a couple of the members of the -1, so it is going to be a split fight. It's now the numbers advantage in favor of Absolve, so Mimic's going to have to back away. Culling comes through, not enough damage to get anyone in a significantly treacherous position, but this is Drake's Soul. A very early stack Soul as well, in fact.
The chunk onto a jungler never really matters as much for chunk onto a number member, usually. If that member doesn't have TP, if I can just hit a camp and heal up. Oh, we've got Renekton, big flank coming through. Do they know he's there, though? Have they seen him? Have they had a glimpse? Do they know the croc that lay in the river?
Here comes the engage now. It's going to be Cody straight on the front line. That's going to be the Pantheon going down. Beanlord is going to be the next up in terms of target priority, but Rhythm is caught out. Rhythm is taken down. Cody in a bad spot, but you're definitely not in a bad spot if you are the team of -1. 2
they have to get out.
Nothing right now. Absolved.
No
taken out by Dognappy. Okay, they do lose Cody, so that is a silver lining, but this might be potentially way too far. There isn't a cease and desist in the side of Mimic. Swag does get taken down, but it is going to be Bloodlust. But it is overall, I think, winning for -1.
I'd say you're very happy about how that situation went if you're -1. A couple of misplays, but no misplay as large as he's getting caught out in the first place. Uncharacteristic mistake from him. He was very clinical in the game against us. He was very clinical last split too. Maybe the heat, maybe the amount of games is getting to him. This has been a long day, but -1 in the driver's seat. Can they close it out?
-1. I don't think they're able to kind of process what this means going in if they are able to win this game right now. This is looking good. dare I say, this is looking very, very good. Baron will be started up here, but both teams have 5 members. Rhythm has just gotten TP off of cooldown, so expect that to come in. Key is here on the opposite side. Flash is moments away from being available. But we can see Dognappy and Cody sitting in wait. Chimera will be the target. We don't have a... Oh, it's going to be a very bad takeover! That's Teddy down. Dognappy is in the backline, has got the all-out. It's a flash over the wall, but it's not going to be able to be claimed. He does not manage to get it. That's Pantheon down. It's 2 for 1 right now. And oh, Cease and Desist goes in, but remember that Mimic has got that GA. Beanlord will be going down in that time. Can they manage to take down Mimic before he can get out? No, they cannot. Oh, yes, they can, in fact. Swag now in a 1 versus 2. This is very, very risky.
Oh,
Swag overextends.
The E was very, very poor from Swag. He put himself between the wall and he put the wall between him and Victor rather. He had no vision to get his autos off. Swag, normally the stalwart, normally the most consistent player on this roster. It's a bit of a mistake there. However, Mimic secures the purple for his team, but only Xanthe is wearing it.
I mean, there is a universe where this is the worst possible outcome and you lose the Baron and then lose 4 of your teammates, but I think it's this nerves. They have been playing it for 7 hours now. In straight games, there has not been a break. Mind that every single team who is still in this competition has played every game since. And especially in this must-win situation, this is absolute... Oh, my stomach is at its wit's end.
I'm at peace. I'm at peace. I think that -1 have had a decent showing. Regardless, I think whether they win or lose, they can be happy either way. Obviously, they're going to want to finish third. They're going to want a bit of a cash prize, a tenner. Rowan can buy some of the masala munch that he likes or whatever. Like, I think he's in a good mood.
I have just realised that if -1 do win this, they would go to 5-1, but Absolved would also go to 5-1. Which means that I think they actually get second if they win this, and Absolved are sent down to third based on head-to-head. I would need confirmation on that. I'm not certain. But
well, that is what I said. That is what I said before the game started. I thought they'd finish second. But I kind of
think you're right.
What you said. And,
I completely forgot about... I was imagining whether or not it was... I was thinking of if -1 lose this game, then... But no, you are absolutely correct. My apologies.
Just to say they don't win first place. We don't know what the other result will be. Cabbage Core, I'm expecting, will be the overall winners today if they can win this game that they're currently in. I'm going to go check if there's been any results for this whilst we've got a bit of a lull in the gameplay.
I have pulled it up. I have just started to put it up on my other monitor.
Cabbage Corp and Broad are still playing. Good point.
-1. What can you find? 30 seconds until this Drake. It is going to be a fight in the mid lane. That's going to be the Pantheon caught up now. Ted goes in. Teddy goes in. Teddy goes down. Vida's going on to Bloodlust. Is it an overcommitment? Do they manage to get the kill? They at least managed to get Bloodlust down, but it is a 1 for 2. Not entirely worth it if you are the side of -1, as you do lose one of your engage tools and then one of your major damage tools. Swag has to dash over the wall.
Yeah. It feels like a choke. I honestly... I'm surprised that we're not just closing this game out from the position that we're in. Absolved got to a point where they couldn't take the soul. They got the first 3 Drakes, were denied the soul, and get outscaled, but it just doesn't seem like it's going that way.
This will, unfortunately for -1, be the soul likely going into the pockets of Absolved. It's an ocean soul, and that will mean that life gets so much harder.
And you know what -1. It means the Elder Dragon is available. Some games I've been in, I've thought about the value of giving the Soul Drake to play for the Flipper Elder. I don't think it's a viable strategy all the time, but maybe that can be the light for M1 if the game starts feeling like it's slipping away. I'm quite surprised here that we have Storm Surge on the Aurora as well. I guess it's fine actually. He has a lot of other pen too, so that's fine. Yeah, I tell you what, I don't mind it too much. Don't mind it too much.
Oh,
we got a pause.
Okay, it looks like it is UKEL having a disconnect. So we will try and get back into game as soon as we can. But in the meantime, what are you guys' thoughts on the current standings? What do you guys think the result of the game is going to be? For me, it's a very much... This is a cutthroat game, and I am terrified. Game is now resuming, so let's get back into that. We will just need to wait a second as the spectator delay will need to do its thing.
I'm feeling quietly confident for the side of M1, but each misplay they've been doing has sort of been plucking away at that confidence. So I hope they can end this game before I get too worried about it. Obviously, showing no bias here towards my old friends.
Yes, indeed. So, I can confirm every other game has now concluded. And now it is the decider between -1, Absolved, Cabbage Core, and Rod. This is what peak League of Legends it looks like, and it comes from the UKEL. Do have the freeze just due to the spectate delay.
Renekton, a bit of a cannon minion this game, other than when he's in that Dominus and is on top of Swag.
I am slightly scared. I don't think this game is going to go to that Elder Drake. I think we're going to see something very similar to what's just happened. I think we're
going to get it at this Baron. Is that what you're thinking?
I'm terrified for -1. I don't like this position. I'm not certain that they can win this fight.
Good chip damage, though. Teddy gets some good chip damage. It's one of the first bits of damage we've seen in this fight. Obviously, chunking Victor means he's not going to get that health back. And I forgot they had Ocean Soul. I just lied on stream.
Me when I lie.
They have Ocean Soul, so that poke will not matter as much.
I think we need an absolute miracle here from Dognappy. Currently knocking Rhythm down, definitely a couple of rungs. They are still in the kill lead, but not in the gold lead anymore.
Renekton is TPing and they don't know. They don't know Renekton's TPing. Oh, they must have just spotted it out. They've got Swag.
Oh, Swag is caught out. The body block comes through, but the Swag is down. Teddy is now going to have to be the only kind of damage dealer left, but it's going to be the ace in the hole that lands onto Teddy.
And this is it. I think this is looking like it's it, Tinser. I think Absolved doing what they do best, have done for the last two splits, and that is ending the lives of other players. Dognappy, Utki having a bit of banter. We love to see it because this game is done.
Mimic doing what he can, clearing this wave, but part of me feels like it is all for naught. Inhibitor goes down, there is a minion and a cannon. There's the ace. They have got the grubbies underneath the turret. The only man who will be alive is the ADC for -1. He has had such a great day, but will it not come to fruition?
The fattest member of M1 come out and get a pentagon. No, he can't.
He will not. -1 will lose, and that will seal the deal for the monthly.
I do want to throw it out there though that we're waiting for the final results of the final game, but both of the games I've watched, I feel like Mimic has done a very good job, performed very well, and I think he's going to be the player to look out for next division, next split in Division 2. I think he'll be the player to watch from M1.
Yes, indeed. Just awaiting the last of the results. I feel like they will be coming through very soon. As now, it's a matter of time. This is the first monthly cup that -1 have participated in. And they were so close. Yes, it is not...
It's the second.
Did they participate in the first one?
Yes, but they didn't have me. They had Hades. They didn't have Rowan. They didn't have me.
So it wasn't full roster.
But they got knocked out on the first day. They didn't make the second day. So
So as the current standings look,
and it's only the favourite. I don't think Absolved. I don't class Absolved as the favourites for this cup. Definitely one of them. I feel like Cabbage Core are a little more favoured. Absolved probably second. Okay, have we got the result yet?
we are just awaiting. I hope in anticipation. I don't know if there is a situation where -1 are in the top 3. I think it will be Absolved, Cabbage Core, Broad. I think that is relatively
currently -1
confirmed.
are above. Currently -1 are above Broad.
Yeah, I don't know how the sort of algorithm will place if Broad does lose. If Broad
I can
lose
see
and
the
-1 go
tiebreakers right
third.
now. One sec.
Oh,
-1 have a higher one than Broad.
oh.
They're currently third.
So if Broad lose, this is.
If Broad lose, I think -1 get third place, and I think if Broad win, -1 get fourth place.
So every -1
If
fan
I'm
is becoming
understanding this correctly.
a Broad hater. Felix, the tiebreakers are already like decided. -1 are guaranteed third or fourth. They are guaranteed third or fourth. I mean, if you want to have your own bracket for third and fourth as like a grudge match between
head to head isn't the thing. It's head to head. Felix isn't the highest value difference for what separates teams on the same score. Head to head is the second metric they go by. The first one, if the higher number is better, which I'm assuming it is, judging by this, it looks like. It looks like. Well, this number is actually going to change, won't it? After the game, I imagine it's probably not calculated yet. But
waiting in anticipation.
Honestly, I'm not sure where they're going to be. I'm really not sure. Shame we can't see what the Broad result or the Broad game is.
See if anyone is.
I have them on my friends list. The game is over. Did you win? Well, they're out of game. I've DM'd him and I've had no reply so far, so I think he is AFK. Are we seeing a result?
I can't tell what this means. I'm looking at the the game itself. It has just been submitted by Porp that Cabbage Core have won, but that is not confirmed.
Where have you seen it submitted and result?
So if you go to the actual, if you click on I clicked on the team, and then I click go to game, and then it has like just underneath the timer. I think that means that they've submitted it as.
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. I don't want to say too much yet. The game is over, but I'm
waiting for a confirm.
Sure.
I'm waiting for a confirm.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say. I'm not saying anything just yet. I cannot believe we've got a match day, a final match day decider. Thank you. We're aware of Absolve being first place. That wasn't up for debate. We are very aware. We are very aware that Absolve went invincible.
It's deserved, to be fair. Very deserved. They did have good games against -1 and against Oku and Four Pigs. Of course, one of those teams is a bit more prepared than the others.
You know, when you've got like the dread in their stomach, like it's a penalty shootout and England's in the final.
I've just realised, because it's tournament code, I should be able to look in someone's match history, right, and see the game.
Don't spoil
And
it.
I can't see it. Can't see it yet.
If you spoil it, I'm...
Spoil it? I can't spoil it.
No, don't
We're all
spoil it.
waiting for the answer. We're all waiting for the answer.
Okay, come on. This is final. This is like FA Cup final, or like
We're waiting for that last result.
my heart is not built for this. We're rooting for Cabbage Core to have won, for -1 to get a top 3
Cabbage
finish.
Core have won.
Cabbage Core have won. Has it gone through? Oh my god! What does this do? What does this do? Standings? No, they're pushed down. -1 have placed 4th.
Yeah, -1 having had the lowest average score of the opponents they face. That does mean, unfortunately, purely because the fact that they've played easier teams, quotation marks, than Broad have, that they have slipped to 4th place.
But also, that head-to-head in round 1 would have been a massive decider. If you could, I don't know how the points work, because no, it is just column A plus column B. No, it isn't. Wait, hang on a sec. What?
So, since then, if you don't mind me asking, if you're still here, what did you think of Oku and Four Pigs? Just a roster of Div 1 players that we threw together, and we played for a bit of fun. I think we were kind of interesting, to be honest. But it was fun playing against you guys. It was very nice. But yeah, I want to see the results page first to double check that is the final result, because there's no. But yeah,
I've got it pulled up. I'll show you like the top 10.
I can see that. It's just if you click the results part at the end of the tournament, it usually shows you the top 3. That's what I'm saying. That is populated yet. So just to get confirmation.
Yeah. Has been updated. The results page is now on. Absolved are your winners. Cabbage Core have placed 2nd, and Brod and Friends have placed 3rd.
Yeah, it's
-1.
worth remembering a lot of these teams have dropped out after a few games. For example, my team, we dropped out after we got 2 losses because we knew we couldn't actually win the thing anymore.
But
we should have stuck with it. We could have got. Because we have quite tough opponents too. We have quite tough opponents too. Broad and Absolved taking down -1, knocking them to 4th place.
But just to give an idea, if
Oku
-1
for the tournament, yeah, we're having a bit of fun. Like the support is a mid laner, the ADC is a top laner, etc. We're just having fun, role swapping and playing.
Well, that will be all for today. -1 do not go home with any kind of prize money, but they've held their own. They held it well, but unfortunately, it was not enough to come out on top. -1 place 4th. Thank you, Yoon, for being here today.
Yeah,
any final words?
Yeah, I think -1 played a bit uncharacteristic in 2 games I watched, to be honest. But someone who really stood out both games was Mimic. I think Cody and Swag also played really well in these games, and yeah, I wish them the best for next split. I think that if Spawn Pete were here, we would have probably beat you guys quite easily, but who am I to say?
Well, no
10
matter
out of
what,
10 rage, mate.
no matter what, we'll be able to see if you can put your money where your mouth is when the UKEL Div 2 begins very, very soon. Yoon, thank you for stopping by. For all of you
My pleasure.
watching, I've been T1NCR, Tinker for short, and I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye.